Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Disaster Series, which is all about this Lego room and of course my life. Now if you've been following the Disaster Series in 2025, I don't blame you if you haven't. We are now going to be painting some bits and pieces and then trying to put the sets back, which means either something's going to get smashed or I'm going to get covered in paint. But everything needs to go white first. We did that last year. We did a repaint on that last year and it looks really nice. It's taken very, very well. This just needs a little bit of a tidy. Where it's blue, it's looking a little bit battered. The colour on the left-hand side, the orange, has actually stayed really, really nice. That now is going to change colour and actually go blue. The top bit here, which is blue, will then go orange, and then this blue underneath, well, that is going to go a completely different colour because we're going to have a very, very big display for the AT-AT up top. So this is where the new AT-AT is going to go. We're then going to have an even bigger display underneath here for the Clone Wars. This is going to stay the Winter Village for now because I think it looks very, very clean and very, very tidy. Obviously, this bit was moved in the last upload. It's all on the table. The AT-AT's there. And then we have got, well, the Disney Castle. So the plan is while the paint is literally drying, we will have to find a home for the Disney Castle, which I do believe is going to go underneath this table here, which means it will be more of me cracking my head and breaking stuff that's underneath here from just basically being dumped. So we're going to have a very, very good tidy underneath these tables as we go. And then we're going to get all of the paint on there. I am burping in my own mouth at the moment. I have some weird disease going on, so I do apologise at the moment, he says, as for some reason I wake up certain days and feel absolutely dreadful. But enough of my bad health, we are going to get this done. So I need to get everything white first. I've got the stain cover, so that's fine. The one thing that is concerning me is the blue at the moment. Now this actually does take forever to dry, but you might notice there's actually some damp patches this morning. So that here, where it's really dark, that isn't actually a shadow. That is a completely different colour. So it should be that. So that is the blue that we should have. We've got darker patches all up there this morning because it's been so cold. And then we've got some nice brick worth of dark patches. It's only the top triangle. The bottom bit I can get away with and paint. I need to move some of the base plates. I need to get the train and things out of the way. So we've got stuff to move as we're going now. I think I'm going to start on the orange just to give the bricks as much time to breathe as possible. These bricks are absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with those at all. So that's good. And then we'll work our way down. So this is very much going to be a case of lean and hope. And then if I slip, well, it gets smashed. Because I did say in the last upload, I didn't have any of the sets in here, or as many sets in here when I painted last time. So just pulled the tables into the middle and painted both sides at the same time. Can't do that this time, so it's going to be a little bit more fruity, but got to take a paintbrush, got the paint, and we will just crack on. So you're going to go to a time lapse, I'm going to get some painting done, and then when it comes to moving something or I get stuck, well, you'll see that in real time. So with that being said, let's get to it. Right, as you can see, we are making very small progress. The reason why I'm doing this paintbrush is because the bricks on this wall are about a finger off depth from each other. So you try and roll it and you can't, you've got to dab it in with a paintbrush anyway. It's just been slapped on just as an undercoat. It's not really the right paint to do for the wood on the side, but I haven't got any other white with me at the moment, so I could have picked up some extra white, but there's absolutely no point. I just struggle putting this on the wood, and then I'll just paint straight over the top of it. Now, I should have filmed it really because it's quite funny. I pulled this off because obviously this was on the wall. Now, we did say when we put this on, it might be a bit difficult getting it back off. Now, there's a piece that remains. Now, that piece that remains is that bit just there, and it is stuck right in front of where I want it to be painted yellow. And now I need a small screwdriver to get that out, so that'd be fine. And then potentially I could just put that small screw back in again and then put maybe a different ship up there, or put that one back, or whatever else. So like I said, this paint stinks as well, by the way. That's going to take forever to go off. I'm going to do all of the orange white, obviously. I have a bad feeling that the white is actually going to dry before the blue is paintable. I don't know whether to risk it. I don't know whether to put a little bit of white on where it's damp and just see, but I've got a funny feeling it will just peel, which really isn't a good thing, especially when it's going to be a fresh display. You can see up here the reason why I need the the stain cover is because it's coming through all weird and wonderful and horrible and whatever else. So I want to give it a good bit. The bottom, actually, looking at it, is actually also damp as well. So it does look like that's actually starting to dry off a little bit. Weirdly, the yellow took very, very quickly. The orange was a pig. I don't know why that orange brick was a nightmare. The yellow went on just like the red bricks did. So I don't know if they're just different types of bricks up here, and one's soaking them in, one isn't. I'm just hoping, I'll do it with you now, that this blue is not a pain in the backside. Yeah, it's just really sticky and horrible. So that's like what the orange was like, whereas the yellow, it went all the way across. So that is not ideal. And I do believe I'm going to have to do that all by, well, I have to do it all with a paintbrush. I could slap it on with a roller and then just dab it in after, but I might as well just do it because I want to put one coat on, and then I'm going to have to put the colour on with the paintbrush as well. So this really is going to take forever, like it did last time, and I obviously need to get the inside of that yellow done pretty much next. So I actually need to get a screwdriver and get the rest of that shelf painted, because the front of the shelf is actually going to go white. So I think it looks a lot better than the actual yellow that is there. So we're going to have the white for a bit hoth with the white base plate on top, and then the colour of the shelves around the outside. So I think it'll look quite nice, where it look like it's just a hoth shelf, and then it's just a small strip when I want to add an orange or yellow strip back to it if hoth moves or anything like that. So I am going to run off and grab a screwdriver. That's an Allen key set. That is not an Allen key, which is a shame. So I will run off and grab a screwdriver, get that out, and then get that little bit painted, and then find a different song for you to listen to and carry on. But that's taken just over 10 minutes so far, just to do that little bit, which sucks basically. So it's going to take a while, but I'll get this orange strip done, see what we're doing for time, go off, get some bits and pieces that are needed. I know there's little bits of orange still poking through, but you're not going to see it when it goes blue. That bit obviously is going to get done. I'll redo around the plugs properly. I'm just throwing it on for now. It's just going to be super, super rough. I'm not even masking anything at the moment. So we are going to get to a point though of where I might have to start moving stuff, and that is not what I am looking forward to doing. So fingers crossed that isn't the case. As you can see, this bit's going on quick enough, but obviously I have a slight problem. I was very, very stupid. I didn't actually think about it until I had finished doing over the Rivendell that I was actually taking the paintbrush over the top. Nothing dripped, but that could have gone really, really badly. And you probably noticed on the camera, went all the way behind it, nice and easy, just gently, didn't touch it or anything. One big sweep across the top and then broke the top. That actually would have been easier for me to paint across the bottom. But we live and learn, so I need to get that corner in. I need to reach over, do the corner, and of course, the Gringotts Bank is in the way. Now, when that's done, I will get some, I'm not too sure which way to do it. That still doesn't look like it's doing anything on that back wall. So as this is drying off, I'm not just going to stand still and do nothing. I'll try and tidy some bits and pieces, I think, next, so we can get the Disney castle underneath the table. And then I'll paint that bit later on. And then when that's dry, I'm just going to take most of the week to dry. I might be able to get some colour on this, but I'm not holding my breath. That might be a 2 days time job, and then that might be the following weekend job, which is not exactly ideal. So we are going to crawl underneath, well, you're not, I am. I'm going to crawl underneath this table. I won't put you into a time lapse for this. So I had to move all these little boxes just to be able to reach, obviously, as you can imagine, because these are the boxes that I need to put back, but they need to be sorted, and obviously I might as well sort them while the paint's drying rather than gear all nice and prepped, which would have been easier, and then just sort of sat around and done nothing. I mean, I could have carried on building the 8080 thinking about it, but that's no fun, is it? So it means you're stuck with me for a little bit longer. So they'll come out the way. Yes, I've got the loft hatch directly behind me, so something is going to go wrong. I don't know. I actually don't know where to put anything now. I don't know if I can reach. Can I reach the treehouse? Was I a bit stupid? Can I reach? Yes, I can. Right. I can live there, which means where you are is where this is going to have to go. Now, if you watch me put this up here, there's literally no room from the dragon to here. Now, do I try and keep it together, or do I just take it apart? Don't particularly want to take it apart because I don't want it to, well, break, to be honest. Can I just pull it on the base plate? Oh, I can. Okay. Bit of a panic over. Now, if I keep it on the base plates, it should mean I should be able to push it back. Yes, perfect stuff. So now, can I actually reach? Or have I just blocked myself? Can I reach with you? Yes, I can. Right, I'll get... Oh, he says I've just knocked the dragon coming back in, so that's going to be very, 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 very interesting. Right, I'll get this bit painted now. No point doing it for a time lapse. You've seen enough of that. And then we will figure out exactly the next port of call. Like I said, no paint or anything on here, so that's all good. And I think this will look quite nice with a fresh bit of blue. It'll give a different bit on the back, and it will split it up from the red ever so slightly as well. And I really need to figure out what I can do for that back wall. That is becoming a little bit of a concern now. It's still early in the morning. It's cold. It is warming up later on today, so hopefully that wall will dry out. It's just damp. It's just one of those things. So I'll carry on with this, and then we'll figure out what's what. Right, it really, really does stink in here, because don't forget there's no windows, but that's all done. That was nice and simple. And then later on in the day, I actually carried on and did the bottom bit, just slapped that on. And then we've had an absolute disaster. I've regretted doing this now, every single brick. So I started to throw the bits and pieces on. Yes, it does look that bad. Obviously that brick's knackered, that brick's knackered, that brick's knackered. I didn't realise that one up there has now also gone. That one has gone. Right at the very, very top has gone, as has that one. And this whole brick just here is ready to literally pop. So I remember what I did last time. I basically got the world's smallest paintbrush and just painted it on as gently as I possibly could over a whole week, I think, just so it would take and not be as patchy as what we're looking at, because I can't get anywhere near that brick now, because if you push anything, it just pops out and falls onto the shelf. So you can see there's brick dust everywhere. There's brick dust in the paint. And there's also brick dust on the actual brush. You can't prep it. There's nothing that I can actually do to stop that from happening. The only thing I can think about doing is either varnishing it or just replacing the whole brick. Now, the big problem I've got is that this was just going to be slapped on nice and quick, nice and simple, and then time gets spent for the orange. How I'm going to get this now a different colour, I actually really don't know. The only thing I can think of is that they're bullet holes or battle damage, and we actually make it part of the display with the lasers being shot at. This is why I couldn't put a shelf up there. Annoyingly and weirdly, like I said, the yellow took really quickly. That was just absolutely fine. That, especially the one at the bottom, I reckon I spent a good hour jabbing it with a paintbrush to try and fill in every single nook and cranny. I can't do that with this one. I'm going to need a smaller paintbrush and basically, yeah, go from there. But the fumes in here are ridiculous, because obviously this is that kind of paint. Now, I have the blue paint. This is nowhere near drying. This isn't going to be dry for a day or two. The bottom, I think, will probably be dry by midweek, I would say. And we could quite easily get a nice fresh colour on there, absolutely no problem. But I'm going to spend a huge amount of time with a teeny tiny paintbrush, just trying to get in absolutely everything. Now, if you think I'm being over-exaggerating or whatever else, it's all of this, look. See it just falling off, and then it just comes straight onto the shelf. So if I get anywhere near it with a paintbrush, or those, I knew those and I knew that one, but you can see where it's just starting to pop at the bottom just there, and then it's peeled away up there. And this one, look, went while I was painting it. Now I've got brick dust in the actual paint, so I'm gonna have to rub all of that down once it's dry, and then figure out what I'm gonna do with that. So that has been a nightmare. Maybe what I should have done is just risked it by painting it over the top in orange. I completely forgot it was that bad, and that's why I left some of the bits and pieces on the green, because it actually started to do it on the green as well. So I definitely am not going to be touching the green whatsoever. So we'll just have to hope and basically fingers crossed it will go okay. So that is definitely not going to be done in that upload, because this, otherwise the upload will be over like 6 weeks of my life, I would imagine, which is not, it's just not going to happen. This definitely will be changing colour, and we are going to make a little bit of room with regards to the boxes and things. I think we're going to start with those boxes over there and just basically see what's what. I just want to get those boxes that are piled up, get them underneath that table, so I've got a bit more walk room there. And then I think underneath this table we've got 3 more, which can stay underneath this table. That's not a problem, but it's just, there's another one there, so that's box number 4. If they'll all stack, we'll be lucky. But I think there's 2 more boxes. Oh, the acid reflux hurts so bad every time that happens. There's 2 more extra boxes out here because of the Ninjago bits and pieces being in them. So I can't put them away until that's completely finished. Kind of would have made sense if I just did Ninjago January and I said I was going to do it and then start the next project after. But this is kind of snowballed into all it's done. And yeah, it always takes a lot longer than it should do. But one thing I do like, check out that white shelf. Now that urine stain yellow's gone, it looked awful on camera. I've always said I wasn't happy with that yellow. That will look perfect with the white base plate on top. So that'll look really nice against the grey foot. So at least something's good out of it. I'm happy with the shelf. I'm happy with everything else. I am not happy with the amount of work that is going to be. And I can't remember, I used a really just fine paintbrush last time. Dabbed it in, went across, dabbed it in, went across. Every single hole was deet. Volunteers, basically. If anybody wants to just give it a go, feel free. Because like I said, that went on like an absolute dream. This one, not so much. I've just dropped the box with the base plates and everything else onto my turbine fan. So that fan now really is holding on for dear life. Right, let's get you over to here. Let's just try and get a couple of these boxes away, and then I will carry on up here on a different day, and then we'll see what's what, because obviously the colour, the blue, is going to need 2 coats. Now what I have done over, I've tried to take as much orange as I could off the roof and dab it down. The orange that you can see that's coming through, there is white over the top of it, and the blue, well, it's that blue, so it should be strong enough to just go straight over the top. It should be okay. We should be okay. Now what I am very unsure of, this box I think should be empty, so that needs to go in a Christmas box, because I have a Christmas box somewhere. Where that Christmas box is, I don't know. So this is the game that we are going to play. Now, I've got all sorts of minifigures in there, which is an amazing thing. This all of... Yeah, this must be the box. Right, okay. So I will put those Christmas bits and pieces in here. Didn't think that was it, to be honest. I thought it was a different one, but clearly not. This box seems to be a bit taller than everything else. So yeah, I just need to basically create space, and this is the story of my life. There just is never... Oh, can we use the AT-AT? Can it be coming useful for some... Check you out. There you go. I don't know what you can see, but you're there. Right, so we've got all of those. That I need. The baby instructions. I keep all the Winter Village instructions together because I used to put them in boxes, and then obviously when you move them about, they've got ever so slightly damaged, and I always tried to fix them for every display. I'm trying to think where this box... Oh, this one, I know where this came from. I know where this one's come from, that's fine. And that is off the back of another modular. You can see where that comes off, so that can go there, that can just go straight in. There's your train track. So we've got all sorts of bits and pieces in here, computers and all sorts of just little bits and bobs and stuff that goes around the Christmas tree. And now I know where this box is, and as long as it's all together, I will be making a very, very conscious effort, one weekend at a time, completing, yes, I am saying this for you to quote me on later, completing the dioramas that I'm happy with. And obviously the Winter Village one, I might do on camera, but I might just show you what I've done on camera, because that would have been like 5 uploads straight away, which makes no sense on that. So when the colour goes back, they'll just get plonked basically back, and then when the smell starts to go and I've got that back wall tidy, I can then figure out exactly what is occurring with all of that. Right. That. Do you want one of these? Or do I just open it? Do I do an unboxing video, open it, trigger a load of people for no reason whatsoever, and actually display it in my... by the sale bar? I don't know. Right. You're going to lose me for a second. That's really annoying, because that can come down and out of the way. That's actually got to go underneath that table because it's too tall. There you go. Hopefully you entertained yourselves on that one. There's brick dust absolutely everywhere. Now, if I remember rightly, I had 2 boxes on the one side with that spare, I say spare computer is. I need to get that fired back up again. I can probably do with that. So this box here, where are you? Ow, it's got my ladder. Oh, just dropped you through the 8080's bottom. Yes, I did just say that. So this has just got, I think it's not 100% sure, to be honest. I think it's just a mix of, well, it's just broken stuff. This is just reminders, remembers, whatever. The minifigures might as well come out, because I can make the shorts with the minifigs, obviously. It's just tiles and broken bits, which is annoying. There's a parrot, there's a minifigure, and there's another minifigure. So at least I can now make a few more shorts up with different characters, which is nice. So that bag can go there. So I told you I've got all the minifigures to populate the areas, just couldn't get to them. Well, there's some there. Now let me put you there. This box is going down with the others, because I flat pack them all, but they don't stay in here. But I can't actually now put that where it needs to go. It's very complicated. I will explain one day. Yes, I know I have a massive aerodynamic device in my legs. So I've got one in my knee and I've got one elsewhere. So box of instructions, that's a lid. That's going to be handy. Now that is a lid of broken X-Men stuff. Because if you saw the disaster video, it went flying down the loft ladders, didn't it? Which was nice and exciting. Why is that making so much noise? Are you going to fall off? No, you should be fine. Right. Ow, just sat on the ladder now. We know we can fit, I think it's 2. Was it 3? Oh, it might be 3. 3 of the skinnier ones. So the next one then will have to be both Ninjago. And then this Christmas box can go underneath by the Christmas display. Ow, right. Yeah. That sounded like I just broke something else. It might not look like there's much going on, but all of these pieces underneath, that's definitely needed. I'll keep it with all the others. It's all these boxes are the Ninjago bits that we picked up, and I've been endlessly sorting out. Got another vintage Christmas parcel. If anybody's missing a very battered, but item number 40292, limited edition. I wish they carried on with the years on the front of the boxes. That's what they used to do, and then they stopped, which was a bit of a shame. Right. So that is a Ninjago box. Remind me it's there because I forget. Next Ninjago box. Here's that one. If it will go. Now I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but I thought it was 3 just. Yes, it is. It's the only thing that I've been really fluky with. I can get 3 of those in there. So instructions, that's fine. To be honest, I might as well just keep that box there. I'm not being lazy. But that box there So this one swings around and goes there, and then it's a case of tucking in underneath the other table. So that, for now, I'm going to lose those pieces. Guaranteed I'm going to lose those pieces. It's been alright so far. It's been there for 3 months, I think. No, hang on. Well, that definitely belongs to it, and that definitely belongs to it. So, yeah, maybe it wasn't doing as good as I thought it was doing. There's some nice minifigures in there, nice minifigures in there. So they can go there. Base plates, all of them can be regrouped, and I can go through all of the colours. Ninjago City. Ninjago City level 1 at level 2. And I've just split my trousers at the back now. Oh, this is going to get very chilly very, very quickly. I wonder what that pop was. That was my trousers going. Right, that is Venom's head. I can remember doing that display live on Instagram when we first started, just after 2020. Right, let's get this in here before I fall down those loft ladders. And then I'll stop pushing my luck and we'll move to the next thing. Nice VIP pack. What's that? Winter. Oh, it's a winter pack. Skis. Oh, I've got some trees in there that I need. That can stay out. I need that. See? I've been in there for ages, didn't even know. Right. Underneath, will that fit on top? Be nice if it did. Hey, check that out. Right, I'm going to keep that just to the one side so I know exactly what's going on. That bag will come in handy. There's minifigures. We've done a thing. We haven't actually created any more floor space because I've just moved stuff into that bit, but we've done a thing. Right. 2 more instruction booklets. They're all staying together up there. I have got them boxed. This can go soon as that one's finished, which would be great because then I can have this floor space back, which would be fantastic. Got a box of stuff that I need to go through on here. Now this I think is just giveaways. I think. I've got the... What have we got? Got giveaway purchase here, which is a great thing. Now I'm halfway through building it. You're all going to ask me where the actual built bit is now, aren't you? I don't know. More than likely it was on the side and it's been thrown into a tub. Because I know Jay's Toy Collection UK does not have that and I don't need it. I might bribe him if he can help me with something in here and he can find it. It's his. Does that sound alright, Jay? Right. Right, there's a lid with some bits and pieces. That's recycling. That is from the unboxing video. This is also from an unboxing video, so that's nice and easy. We like that. So that's 2 bits gone. That's number 3, so that can go. That's rubbish. That's rubbish. It's all from the unboxing stuff. And like I said, I've not actually gone underneath here since I've got back into the country. So this was at one point all nice and neat and tidy. Oh, there's another tub there. I am now stumped. I don't know what this other tub is. let's explore this before we call it a day. So we've got a tub of stuff. This bag is all Star Wars, that's simple enough. What is in here? Oh, it's the architecture sets. That is what all of those are. Right, so I now am stuck. I'm gonna need to pick all of that up, which is great. If I find that thing for Jay, I will let you know, but it stinks in here and I got up too quickly. So I think that's a sign, just to knock it on the head and probably carry on with it in a day or two's time when the paint calms down, because when the next coat goes on, it won't be as smelly and I can just carry on with bits and pieces underneath here, and I'll keep you up to date as we go. So I will catch back up with you guys and girls in more than likely a few days' time. Right, so we're a couple of days on. The paint had dried and now I have literally just put the first colour of blue on, and I can't believe how much brighter this blue is than the actual orange. And the fact that we've got this really nice blue over the white for the backdrop of the Winter Village, and then we're going to have it for the backdrop of this as well. I think it just looks better. I wasn't expecting it to be so different, but I think this does look really good. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the next project. The next project I'm going to do is dab in all the bits and pieces at the top. I've got all sorts of different small paintbrushes, so that is the port of call for me. Once that is white enough, and I've covered enough blue without taking the wall off, then we can actually get some bits and pieces done, because obviously the Disney castle needs to go underneath. Now this might be problematic. It should dry all right. I reckon it's going to be, it's cold up here, but the wood, I would like to think end of day tomorrow, to be honest. And that brick over there took like an absolute dream compared to how it was painted orange at the start of this video. So I reckon maybe 2 coats. If I can't do it in 2, it'll be 3 and done. But I would like to think it was 2, because if I thought it had taken well enough, as it was drying, I could put the Winter Village stuff back, and then we can start to tidy everything up top, because obviously I want to get the bits and pieces tidied underneath. Obviously, the problem is that if it doesn't dry, it's getting cold again next week, which is fine, because I've already pre-recorded the upload for the following Saturday, and then we're going to start getting tight. So if you wonder why I don't finish projects, or you think I just do it for whatever reason, it's either I don't upload anything for the disaster series on a Saturday, or we just basically stop because we run out of time. That is the bits and pieces. So rather than wasting any more time talking now, we will have a play with the bit up top on that shelf. The bottom looks nice. The white has taken so well across that bit in there. And I think what I am going to do is the whole top and the inside will go to its own colour, and then that blue will just be its own triangle, like a bit of cheese on both sides. The green, I mean, I could change colour on that if I really wanted to. I've seen a really nice purple. I don't know why this purple's caught my eye. So I think what I'll do is I'll paint the purple underneath for a Star Wars bit of something. Yeah, and just see what it's like. It's like a Cadbury's purple, which I do like the look of. I think it might be a little bit too dark up top, especially as we now just painted that a really nice blue. The green works with the theme park, I think, so that works all right. Obviously we've done the red, and we've got some changes up potentially around here after, but it would be nice just to get that painted today, but it's not going to happen because we know how long that's going to take to dry. So the plan, like I said, I think at the start of this video, was to finish the blue and put everything back as one upload, and then we're going to do the orange and the yellow as the other upload. If things start to get really complicated, you might see a bit of colour on the wall, because I've got to think of the drying time. This is not like a conventional place. I have to think almost a week ahead for this paint to dry, because I waited 6 days for that back wall. 6 days, and now it's obviously bone dry and we are fine, and this weekend isn't too bad. So like I said about a minute and a bit ago, I'll shut up. I will have a dabble at this. Well, to say that didn't go well is an understatement. So we will just carry on, move on, and not worry about that for now. And I am just going to try my very, very best in the other uploads to paint that orange. That's going to be a true disaster if that goes wrong. So I think there's going to be more battle damage on that wall than we first anticipated, but we'll try and make it work. So plan of attack now is, like I said, we're just going to carry on. I need to get the Disney castle on the floor. I'm not going to bore you with just making a little bit of space underneath here. I've got a couple of boxes and things to go through. And then we have got some bits and pieces to stack. We've got all the Star Wars stuff, which is all there. So basically the stuff that's, half the stuff that's underneath here is going to get used here. And then the other little bits and pieces that are underneath here basically need a new home or to go in its own tub, which is just going to take me ages. So I'm not going to even put you to a time lapse. I'm just going to plod on and I'll catch back up with you when it's time to move the Disney castle. So we are now the following morning and it's actually dried. That is fantastic, apart from the very, very far corner. So we are literally 24 hours on and there's only a little bit of damp patch on that bit. That is completely bone dry, as is all of the wood. And it was very, very cold last night. So that is great. So I can get the second coat on that now. Obviously, I'm not going to bore you with that. Get the second coat on now. We'll see what the finish is like. But it does dry, as you can see, a really nice, bright, vibrant blue. And it's actually dried properly for the first ever time on the brickwork, because don't forget it was patchy up at the top because it was so damp, and that is obviously a massive concern for me now with the orange. There is potential things that I could do, but it's all going to come down to the next upload because it's just honestly a nightmare. You probably screaming, just put that on there, use wallpaper, use this, use that. You can't because it's so wet. If you want to use timber, I've then got to screw it in to give it like a backing around the outside, depending on how thick a backing I need for the timber and all that kind of nonsense and where it's got to go into, because obviously I can't go into the roof really. It will stick out, and then it will stick out on the shelf, and the 8080 might not fit. So until I measure it all, it's just going to be a pain in the backside. It should be fine, but that is in the back of my head at the moment. So let's just focus on the nice positive for today. The blue has dried a beautiful bright colour, which is really, really nice. Obviously it's just its first coat, it's patchy, it's rough. I will get the orange off the plugs. Then these bits and pieces will go back. I've also made space for the Disney castle just to go straight underneath. That's actually going to cause even more problems because I've done this in the wrong order. Because I was ill, obviously, still am, I know, over Christmas, that I was going to board the bottom, so I need to put timber down. So what I'm going to have to do is get all this in, get all of the stuff off the floor back onto this top at some point. This is obviously when it's all painted, to get the timber down underneath to then make the display. So basically, I've got a triple shift everything, which is just a little bit of a swine. So I'm going to think of, as I'm painting this, what is the best option for this if the paint doesn't take. But like I said, that's just going to be a completely different upload. That is going to look fantastic when it's done. And then if I can just get some thin MDF or chipboard, get it cut to fit to put it down on the ground, it will stop it from flexing for the base plates. And then we don't have to worry about anything else whatsoever, and then we can make some really nice displays. So I'm against the clock this morning, hence why I'm speaking so quickly, and I haven't even got changed properly yet. Yes, this is my best t-shirt that I wear on a Sunday, because it's holy, get it? Right, oh, that was bad, I know. So second coat of blue, and then I'll update you as it's drying. So we are hours and hours on from when that paint got put on, and it looks like it was done 5 minutes ago, but it was no surprise to me because it's going to take a minimum of 24 hours to dry, and in certain places it's going to take a little bit longer than that, but that can just do what it needs to do. Now, I did say in this upload we're actually going to carry on finishing the Winter Village and putting everything back, so it's actually a finished corner, which would have been nice, and the Winter Village, the Disney Castle, would have gone underneath the table. But I can't do that just yet because of what's going to be happening in the next upload. Now, we know that this bottom bit is going to be changing colour, and I have said multiple times I was having an absolute nightmare with what I should do with this bit at the top. I now have a plan of attack. I have been told by people that are much more wise than me what to do. So I'm extremely grateful, but it is also very, very messy. So what I have to do is basically clear all of this at the bottom, which we'll do in the next upload. I'm going to cover, I think, the Winter Village bits and pieces, because all the bricks that have blown out, so I can show you this easily now. So this, for example, where it's just gone, so I can put my finger straight through that, is because it's completely blown out. I have to scrape, yes, you heard me right, scrape the brick all the way back until it goes to hard like that. So this, all of this here, I've done. All of this needs to come off. So you can see all of the brick that's going to be coming off. I'm going to have to scrape it all back on every single brick that has gone. And then I can treat the brick by putting a coating over the top of it. And then I can actually paint it a nice colour and it will look nice and smart. It's going to look a little bit rough and ragged because obviously it's going to be staggered, but it'll all be the same colour. So fingers crossed, we should be okay. So then that means we can actually paint over these bricks that have never been able to be painted before, and I've just had to cover them for the last couple of years, I think. So this is going to be a nice big change, but it is a lot of mess and a lot of work. So I've got to get the scraper, got to get the vacuum cleaner, and we've got to just basically try and catch all the brick dust we can. Then everything's going to need to obviously have a very, very big clean, because I can't get any of the brick dust on the paint. Got to be super careful, obviously, of the blue as well, but I think we will be okay. So keep your eyes peeled. It'll be the video that follows this. This paint will literally still be drying. I'm literally going to end this upload and then just start the next bit. And hopefully, as that's drying, I can get the next colours on as well, and then it can all be drying at the same time. That's had 2 coats, so that should hopefully be done. When that's done, all those bits and pieces go back. When they're back, I then should hopefully be able to put the second coat on that, and then we're good to go for Hoth. We're good to go for the Clone Wars display. I can tidy up all the floor, and then we can start the next project on the floor. So we now have a big plan of attack, but I told you it's going to be in lots of multiple uploads, just because of things like this with regards to how long things take to dry. So if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know, again, I keep saying it, is there any smaller sets or UCS sets that look great on display on camera for this new display that we're doing for 2025? We've got Hoth going up at the top. We're going to have a nice Clone Wars display here. And then we've got some nice little bits and pieces that are going to go underneath the table. Obviously, I'm going to get all the base plates to match it in colour, which I am very, very looking forward to actually getting them ordered and getting them delivered. But I think the second the base plates go down, it makes a huge, huge difference. So when the paint's finished and it's all done, we'll be doing and tidying everything across the top. So I need to end this, start the next one, wish me luck. So guys, again, one more time, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I hope to catch you next one. Ta-da.